And the war is also having some real impacts on farmers in the U.S. Russia is one of the world's leading exporters of fertilizer and its raw materials.
And while the U.S. doesn't buy most of its fertilizer from Russia, other countries that do are now shopping at American suppliers. That's driving up demand as well as prices. And we're joined now by News 8's Shelby Kluver. And what does all of this actually mean for farmers in our area? Because it really is being felt now and will be in the future.
Yeah, Jim, most of the time when we're talking about crop fertilizer, we're referring to liquid in large tanks like this. But most farmers, like Paul Diericks here behind me over my shoulder, already bought their fertilizer prices for this planting season months ago. And even those were an increase from the year before. Now the big question is, what are these prices going to look like going forward?
Slow and steady wins the race.
Just outside of Long Grove.
Well, a good day for me is between 250 and 300 acres.
The Diericks brothers are finally planting their crops.
Well, in my 32-year career of farming, I can't remember a year where we didn't plant something in April and we didn't plant anything.
But the weather-induced late start isn't the only curveball for Joe Diericks this year.
Agriculture is subject to what's going on in that part of the world. Right now, we're short of nitrogen.
Fertilizer prices are soaring after Russia, one of the world's leading exporters, invaded Ukraine.
In our operation, the cost of nitrogen has probably went up between $30 and $40 an acre. And that's just nitrogen.
Diericks says the cost of nitrogen has doubled from this time last year, while phosphorus and potash prices have jumped roughly 23%. However, the real concern is for next year.
There certainly doesn't look like there's going to be any quick end to the Ukrainian crisis, so everything's up in the air.
We have a 50% increase put into this crop. Next year's crop is what everybody is really worried about, is if it goes up 50% again.
But there's a slight silver lining. While operating costs are rising, so are profits.
$8 corn and $17 beans, so it hasn't happened very often.
Still, those prices aren't stretching as far as they used to.
We're hoping to grow a normal crop. We're hoping to be able to make some money, but 10 years ago, with the prices that we have, we would be looking at a lot more revenue per acre.
And as the war in Ukraine rages on, these farmers have a lot more than Mother Nature to contend with.
Don't worry about the farmers right now, income-wise. I think we'll be fine if we can grow a good crop.
Now, the Diericks said it cost just over $200,000 to fertilize all of their crops last year. This year, corn alone is going to cost $50,000 more than that. And altogether, it's going to be about a $100,000 price increase from last year. And it looks like those prices are only going to keep going up. Jim?
It'll also impact consumers as well. Thank you, Shelby. There are some ways that farmers can help combat the rising prices of fertilizer, including using less of the products or just switching more acres to soybeans. Soybeans require fewer chemicals.